you know.
My name is Jesse Scaccia,
I'm Hannah Serrano.
and I'm the editor of Alt Daily.
I'm the publisher of altdaily.com.
Our tagline has been from the beginning, creating and celebrating culture in Norfolk and Hampton Roads. So we're not really a straight news organization. When we see that there's a problem and we feel like we can do something to make it better, then we go towards it.
Why am I sitting here?
Well, you're sitting here because you need to be sitting here, because you're a hot mess. And if there's anything that I could say to encourage you to be less of a hot mess, it would probably be not to stick cameras in people's faces all the time, because they typically don't like them. It's not an easy way to make friends.
That's good. That helps me, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Good.
We helped bring about the busking ordinance.
Busking is something that people see happening in cities all over the country, and street performers, they just make you feel like you're in a bustling city.
My name is Rocky Capizzi. I am 23 years old. I have been playing violin for 13 years.
So busking is when you head out to the street with your guitar, with some balls to juggle or what have you, and you entertain people as they pass by. And if they like it, they give you $1, they stand and clap, or they tell you you're beautiful. And the city is better for it.
That night, after the law was passed at City Council here in Norfolk, I unknowingly busted out my violin and started playing. A couple of people from Alt Daily came by and took some pictures, and they then informed me that I was the first person to legally busk in the city of Norfolk after the law had been passed, which got me really stoked because I could possibly be a historical figure. Never wear bright clothing while you're busking. Bright clothing makes you look less destitute. It might ruin the experience, if I had a lush condo in Malibu and, fancy cars. I do kind of have a fancy car, but it's not mine. So you're playing on the street. You're giving a part of yourself for money. I'm essentially a musical prostitute.
I wonder why no one calls me back when I zoom in and they...
Yeah, you see, that's the kind of reaction that you get when you do things like that.
I choose classical music to enrich people, and it touches all people. Like, I play outside this club. You get the clubbers, and they came out from like booming, bumping music, and they come out and appreciate my music. It's so universal, and it touches a lot of people.
So I understand you're doing this as a service to everyone. Anyone can come and get...
Absolutely. Well, in our current healthcare system, not a lot of people have access to, psychiatric care, and I was once a hot mess, and through reading all of these self-help books available at my local Walgreens, it's not really within walking distance of a library, and my soul has been thoroughly chicken soup.
I love playing piano. Everything I play is improvisational. My name is Jessica Long. I don't know how to read music or anything, and I somewhat take pride in that because it goes on to show that I am self-taught.
Believe it or not, there are communities that not only do not have libraries, they don't even have a Walgreens.
We do movies at the Narrow. We helped get the city council meetings to be filmed and aired in the city of Norfolk. We helped get Out in the Park to Town Point Park for the first time. We're working on a public bike share program. Just a lot of fun stuff like that.
The main one, I think, that you're probably referring to is Art Everywhere. Really, we just wanted to utilize all the empty storefronts on Granby Street in downtown Norfolk and just fill them with art. It's really as simple as that, and it turned out to be amazing.
Hello.
understand you are the genius behind the pink bicycle. Is that right?
I don't know about genius, but I have painted some bikes pink, yes. It's just that someone can do something very simple to make our city prettier. It doesn't have to be complicated. It just, involves a little thought and something unexpected. It's just about doing things for other people to make their world prettier as well.
My first time I ever played was at the Boot. That was my first time playing publicly. And I was nervous at first, but as soon as I started playing, it was like I was playing at home. And I get in my own little world and I just keep on going. And other people enjoy it too, so that makes me feel happy.
That's one of the most exciting things about Art Everywhere is that we were able to bring out lots of different media.
So sorry if you're not here. You're missing a good show.
One of our artists, Ariel Moreland, her piece, it confronts these issues of domestic violence and domestic abuse. In addition to her installation, which in and of itself is hugely impressive, but she had these actresses come out in these red dresses and they had their mouths taped, and it was all about who will be her voice, who will be this girl's voice. And it's a very provocative question, and especially the idea of sex abuse victims and human trafficking.
My name is Brandon Thompson. I'm a local artist here in Norfolk. We're actually at the Jewish Mother backstage on Granby Street. I started these monthly art shows back in December just to try to get the word out to the local art scene, just to try to get it thriving, because I know there's a lot of great local artists around the area that have a hard time getting noticed. So all this is my art right here. I do a lot of paintings, but I also use a lot of reclaimed materials. I started about 3 years ago with the bent silverware, and then that kind of progressed into used postage stamps, buttons, records, basically anything that I can find at the thrift store and turn it into, make something else out of it. People come up and they'll see my silverware pieces and they'll say, oh, he used like plastic silverware, and then I tell them that, yeah, it's real silverware, and they do a double take. That's what I love.
To be able to inspire people into thinking that they can just do it, that they can just make those things happen with enough willpower, that's also a major part of why we do what we do. So.
You have a tattoo that says lucky, is that right?
Yeah, lucky. Most of us here in the first world should wake up and feeling like we won the lottery. So it's just kind of a reminder of when I feel like it's bad, it's actually probably really good.
Renewing the city? I think renewing the city is really just taking time to explore it. Go see what's around you. Everybody misses it when they're in a big city. There's music here, there's art here, there's beauty here. We don't have to go outside to find it. You can get it here. This is my art.
If you have the mindset that I can't make a difference, then you don't feel compelled to try. Because whenever you try, there's a good chance that you're going to fail, no matter what it is. And with community projects, when you fail publicly, and that can be embarrassing. That can be a setback.
I do have a friend who's a local art educator and a local artist named Nicole Harp, and she tells her students they do this exercise where they burn a piece of their art, a work of their art, simply to learn how to divorce themselves from their artwork and understand that a painting is an object and that it can be lost, it can be
broken, it can be criticized.
Coolness can definitely be a scourge, and if you make coolness and hipness the imperative, you're probably not going to accomplish a whole lot except looking good in your pants.
Yeah, I've never signed anybody's sheet music, but I have had people buy me drinks.
It just feels better to try. Sitting down and complaining and watching things happen, it doesn't feel good. It's kind of self-emasculating. But when you get out there and you say, I can make a difference here, I think that's when you kind of start to feel actualized as a human. That's when your blood really starts to flow to those places that make you glow from the inside.
It's also what art is all about. It's about, confronting issues that people have a hard time starting up conversations about.
My name is Cameron Booth. I am 18 years old and I'm an artist, a visual artist. This is some of my work here. I'm inspired a lot by what goes on in my life, I've had a lot of friends pass away early, a lot of friends die young. I've gone through a lot of things kids my age normally don't go through, but I take that and I turn it into my artwork and I put it into good vibes and stuff.
Either there's a God in heaven and all that, or there's not. And if there is, then I feel like we all need to be, working to make life easier and better for our fellow man. We should be spreading love. And if there's not a God and there's not heaven, then this is all we got. And we really got to do our best to make it great, to bring a little heaven down here, to create it ourselves.
Sometimes I just go into Walgreens and when people are picking up their prescriptions, I say, this really isn't what you need. And sometimes the old lady says, this is my high blood pressure medicine, and I say, I'm sorry, ma'am, I would suggest that you continue to take it, but really, help is right around the corner, in the book and magazine section of your local pharmacy.
Anguish, I could deal with it on my own, but the art, I feel, helps me help some of my other friends. A lot of them see my work and they remember the good times instead of the things that happened to them that were terrible. I'm proud that my art helps people have that feeling, they're comforted by it, and for me that's my reward. Not even doing the art or even getting rewards for doing my art, it's just helping my friends move on.
I really believe that our priorities should be God, community, family, and then self, like a really far fourth.
Call for others, because I'm a homeless too. I'm a homeless too. That's what I do. In the city, I try to help people. I've been 2 years in college, man. Trying to be a social worker, and I went working at the shipyard. Got laid off. Try to see if you can get people to help us homeless people. Don't look at us as just bums on the street. Because as you see, look at me. Okay, I shave every day. I'm not. Look at me. I only been homeless maybe like 3 months. I still got my little clothes on. I look out. I'm a good guy.
I'd like to think of us just as a bunch of people who want to make a difference with their lives, who kind of hate apathy but like passion.
Hey, Bo, I'm a very good guy. Anybody got any jobs for me? I'm downtown on Granby Street in Norfolk.
The idea of renewing our city and why I do Alt Daily and why I do Art Everywhere and all of these other things is really because of, Lily. Knowing that I'm a part of making this place something for her that I didn't necessarily have when I was growing up here, that is really why we do what we do.
Oh yeah, in terms of getting in touch with cosmos, I do different meditation techniques. Most people think you need to find like a special position with your legs crossed or your legs up like that, but I find that very difficult. So what I'll do is I'll simply find, put my legs up a lot of the time. I leave my eyes open and I let go. They are transmigration.